If you like this video, please click like, share it, subscribe, buttons down there, and if you want coaching with me in Nottingham or online, all the information is in the bio. How you doing? So this is a big one, how to aim. There's a lot of stuff out there. I think this is the best way. Check it out. Right then, how do you aim? Is this some magic method or sort of formula? Unfortunately not, and there's many out there that I've learnt. None of them really work. So this shot, I've set up this half ball shot. So this is what a half ball shot looks like from behind it, look. Right, so there we go, look. There we go, right. Half ball. So what that means is, generally, is when I make contact with that red, the middle of the white, will be going towards the edge of the red, right? So this is, you know, an average shot that people call off ball. Now obviously there's off ball, quarter ball, 3/4 ball. Certain shots are a slightly different thickness, so you have to work out where you have to hit to send it in that direction. But look, this is a big rabbit hole. So just have a think about this. I would play this shot with a trace of right-hand side, right? Always left cut. So, or most of the time. If you think about it, I'm hitting the right-hand side of the cue, slight smidge of right of the cue ball. The left-hand side of the cue ball is hitting the right-hand side of the white as I look at it, right? So when I set up to pot this, my cue isn't pointing at the part of the object ball that the white is going to hit. But I will still look there. Yes. Now, that sort of thing, there's no formula for that. That's just trial and error. Because personally, I will stare at the part of the red that I want to hit, right? But like I say, my cue isn't pointing there. So to try and explain someone how to do that is tough. In my experience, a lot of people can pick a decent part of the object board to send in that direction. A lot of the time they're not very good with the cue ball, right? But as for this argument here, this where to hit, like I said, my cue's not pointing at it. But I just, through practice, work out where I need to set up to, and the amount of thickness or thinness, whichever way you want to look at it, I have to hit to send it in that direction. Now, another rabbit hole is that people are putting helping side on. This is not why you use helping side for the pot. To negate a thing that's called, I think it's sort of spin induced, some induced throw. What that means is, basically, the thicker I hit the red, there's a little bit of a push. So what that means is if I'm aiming for the middle of the pocket, the thicker I hit it, it will sometimes push a little bit thicker. But look, and apparently they use helping side to negate that, right? Well, helping side is not for that. Anybody that tells you that don't know about helping side, right? Anyway. But look, professionals, we aren't standing behind every shot thinking, right, I'm behind this shot. It's half ball, right? I've got to hit it with a bit of helping side because when I hit it that thickness, the push effect on a half ball shot is that much millimeters. But if I hit it harder, it might push more. No, right? The way we do it is just through having fun and playing the game. We work out where we need to hit just through trial and error. That's the best way of doing it because, like I say, people will see it slightly different. So for me to tell somebody else, you need to do this, they might not see it like that and it might not suit their eye. So they've got to work out what they see and just through trial and error, hit the ball in a spot and see where it goes. So certain shots, and most of the time, if you play a shot 20 times, you will usually usually see a pattern. If you miss a shot, if it's a shot you don't like, you'll see a pattern of where you're missing. And it's very rare it's 50-50, like very, very rare. And you'll see it's probably 70% thick or thin or whatever. So if that's what you keep doing, hit it thinner, right? That is it. It's not rocket science. I think amateurs get a little bit stubborn when they're trying to learn the potting angle. They make an assumption of where they need to hit, and they hit there, and it's like they can't accept that they're picking the wrong spot or they're not hitting the correct spot for whatever reason. So with this sort of thing, it is trial and error, and if you just experiment with, again, pick a shot that you don't like, because there's usually shots that you're not very good at. What you might find is, just by adjusting where you're aiming, the thicker or thinner, you'll start to learn the potting angle and working out what it looks like here, right? Because ultimately, it's got to look right to you, and you've got to learn what this looks like and where you need to set up to, and a familiar look of it to pot it in there. And honestly, that is the way of doing it. All these methods and all these whatever, it's just confusing you, because that's not why you're missing, right? So you need to just learn what it feels like. Now, after all that rambling, I've got to pot this red. So, like I said before, I'm putting a tracer right on here. Right hand side of the white I'm hitting, and the left hand side of the white is hitting the right hand side of the red. So my cue will be pointing about there. Bit mad. Let's see. Let's see if I remember. That looks pretty familiar. There you go. Tracer right. So you see there, it's not a formula. It's just practice. It helps if you're good with the cue ball. You know where to hit on the cue ball. That's really important. But again, with potting angles, there is no formula. There is nothing. It's just practice. And the thing is with this, people love all the formulas and all the this, that, the other. But I'm just telling people to play the game and just have fun with it and just enjoy working it out. Surely that's better, isn't it? So there you go. The secret is out. There is no real method. There is no sort of magic formula. It is literally just playing the game, you know, getting down to shots, seeing what they look like, and through playing and trial and error, just working out, when I set up there, they seem to go in. It's the best way and a lot more fun. Comment below. See you soon.